Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming here. Just wanted to have a quick little announcement, really quick. This is where you can find the podcast. From now on, it's going to be on this channel. We wanted to break it away from With People's YouTube channel and separate his content for what he wants to do with it. So thank you once again for joining us. Tune in every week right here on this channel to check out the podcast YouTube videos. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Mystic Shot Podcast.
How's it going, everybody?
30. The big 30.
Almost as old as me.
30 is a good
catching
number,
up,
man.
Swear. We catching up. The podcast is about to be as old as you, bro. All right, what's up, everybody? So this week we got another special guest. We don't usually do this, but we had to bring him on.
It was very important.
It is.
Feel touched.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You're a special guest of ours. So
thank you.
And you're a good friend of ours as well.
Thanks.
So we got DoughyNut coming on this week.
What's up?
Thanks for being here, man.
What's
Thanks for
going
being
on?
here.
What's going on?
We're excited.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me on.
Of course.
And being able to use your platform a little bit to share an announcement as well as contribute to your show.
Yeah, we
Of
were
course.
crazy excited to hear more about it. I know a little bit. I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you do that, but I'm really hyped.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So he has a special announcement. We're also gonna ask him, our little interview that we always do for everybody. We always do this little, we want to get to know you. Give us the digits, give us the social, lay it all down. How we can do. But so we're gonna give him some time to talk about his background and stuff like that. And then afterwards, he has a little announcement. But also,
Here
guys,
it is.
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash that
Honestly,
like button,
I feel
bro.
I feel like I've been doing better with that though. Actually, like
Got
I've been trying my hardest to remember it in the intro, and I've been just trying to
You're killing it, dude.
get
You're
our
killing it.
content more out.
You're killing it.
Yeah, to get our content more out, so more people can view us and stuff like that, and more people can learn about the LOR community. We have a good community here.
We do.
We're an amazing community here, so we need to spread the love. So, all right, enough of that. Doughy, what you got?
Yes. So, April 2nd, so not this upcoming Friday, but the following Friday, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern, I'm launching a 24-hour charity stream event in which I'll be primarily, putting out Legends of Runeterra content along with some members of the community, including you guys, right? You guys sent me in that form that said you're interested.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna have a few guests in to help try and raise some money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So we're gonna do a 24-hour kind of community event. You guys mentioned earlier that the Legends of Runeterra community is great, and I agree. And I think we could kind of show the world, or at least St. Jude's, how great we can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Like St. Jude's is like one of the biggest, out there, right? It's it's one of the first things that comes to mind. It's like ASPCA to save animals, and then to save people, you go to St. Jude's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
If people don't know exactly what it is that St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital does, they help try and prevent deaths and severe instances of childhood cancer. So when they started off on their mission, childhood cancer had something like an 80% fatality rate. And from then until now, that number's down to 20%.
It's still too high.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
still
too
way
high.
too high. We got to crush that.
They've made a great progress so far, but they're not stopping, so neither should we in our support of them.
Of course. Absolutely.
Amazing.
I'm
That's amazing. You
all
got me
about
on
it.
board already. You got me on
All
board
about
already,
it.
bro. Wait, take my money. Where
take my money.
take my money. That's it.
So like that's like an awesome announcement, and you know, I have DoughyNut's Twitter here on screen. Get over there, get to follow him, check it out, so you can, you know, as the date approaches, I'm sure he's going to be updating people as, you know, things are going to be happening. So come around, just chat, donate, get involved. It's going to be really awesome. But let's move on to talk about Doughy and you know, where he came from and how he got to where he is now with LOR. So what was your first collectible card game, whether it be, you know, real cards?
Yeah, so I was 10 years old, and one of my cousins was coming over to visit, and he brought over his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'd heard of like Pokemon, but like I didn't really collect or were interested. Like, what's this? And he showed me what Yu-Gi-Oh was. I was absolutely obsessed. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard of. Like, yeah, life points. Yeah, I'm all about that. So
I'm all about being able to lose life points.
I know. And so I was like all about it, got super interested, but he lived like 8 hours away, so I never got to play, except for like twice a year. So like I would spend talking about like deck building pressure for seasonals. It was like, no, I have the whole year to go build a deck to try and beat my cousin. I have no one else to play with.
There's more on the line with that, I think. Actually,
exactly.
Respect on the line, fam.
And eventually, I guess he like lost interest. There's like, oh, the one person to play with. So didn't really play card games until I went to college and Hearthstone came out. Played Hearthstone a bit, and then I realized I have no money to do this. So I stopped playing Hearthstone before I took it way too seriously, even though I spent too much money. And then I kind of didn't play anything. I started playing League because I guess I don't like my mental state. Started playing League, and then I heard they're making a card game. I was like, ooh, I'm intrigued. And so I downloaded Runeterra, and I've had a blast ever since.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
It sounds like a lot of people came from League, to be honest. A lot of people. So,
Yeah.
Favorite champion?
Oh, see, when I was playing League of Legends, it was Garen, because it was like easy, and I just smashed in the top lane.
Spin to win, baby.
Exactly. Then you spin, you hit the R button, and someone dies.
Yeah.
So in Legends of Runeterra, I was like, oh, I'm going to play some more Garen. But unfortunately, he's not really that great. But I think my favorite champion in Legends of Runeterra is probably Aurelion Sol. Big space dragon who can, you know, close out games.
That's a rarity. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. That Aurelion Sol is their favorite.
I mean, he comes on board, he does something right away. He's a threat. He's a 10-10 that's gonna win you the game, fam.
Right. And I feel like he's like the one champion that its theme is better in Legends of Runeterra than it is in League of Legends. Like in League of Legends, he's just this weird like lizard that just kind of floats around the map. But in Runeterra, he's like the creator of the universe.
Yeah, you know? he's a little underwhelming in League, actually. But like that's kind of like the story of League of Legends, though, is that it's like Malphite is actually supposed to be like 200 feet tall, right? Like in reality, but you know, on Summoner's Rift, he's, you know, like a little tiny thing. So yeah, that's probably got a lot to do with it. So we found your favorite champion, like, but in general, like LOR, what's your favorite part about it? Like you talked about the pay to win model with Hearthstone. So is that kind of part of it, or is there more?
So what made me try it out was, I guess, the fact that it had the League IP. But what made me stick around was both the fact that, you know, you could be free to play and get a full collection if you play a few hours a day for like 6 months. You'll probably get a full collection, or at least close to it. But the part of the game that I like the most is the reactivity, right? Your opponent plays a card, you get to play a card in response. So it doesn't feel like, until recently, there are some super cheap combos where it's just like, oh, I didn't get to do anything.
Yeah.
And I just kind of lose. So I like the fact that you could react to your opponent's cards. Yeah, that's what made me stick around.
Yeah, I really like it too. It's very like poker-esque in a way, where, you know, you have to make decisions based upon action, which is really fun.
Right.
Yeah. All right, you got the next one. This one's you.
All right. So we gotta get serious now. We You gotta get serious. All right.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite emote?
Ooh, my favorite emote. I think this is gonna be a rare one, but I'm gonna go sweaty Ezreal.
I like that one too. I do like that
It's
emote.
perfect.
All right. You got me there.
I we can't.
It's
It's nothing we can do.
What are your guys' favorite emotes?
Have you seen my tier list?
I must have missed it. I don't think I have.
All right,
Yo.
it's Juicy. Everybody, Juicy
Oh,
is
Lulu?
Juicy is tier 0.
I mean, Lulu. Don't you ever wonder why Lulu has never been buffed?
Because the emote's already S
Because
tier.
emo is
Yeah.
S tier.
Yeah, the emote is too OP. They can't buff the champ.
They can't buff the champ, bro. I see what it is
Undeniable.
now. I see what it is. Riot, I'm on to you. So any good emotes that come into the game, you're just never gonna buff them. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
That's what we're doing.
That has to be it.
That's it. But
Has to be it.
so we learned about the event. We learned about Doughy. We're gonna jump into the main topic of the week, which is so the overall mood. If people have been paying attention to Twitter, Discord, Reddit, is that everybody's been pretty negative about the state of the game, and I know how I feel about it. I want to hear about what you guys think. But Doughy, hit us.
All right.
How are you feeling about the game right now?
I am less enthused than I usually am about the game. TFIs, I just said it until recently, it doesn't feel like things that are cheap happening. TFIs with stress testing and rummage leveling up on turn 5, to me it feels very bad. So I've played through 2 other games that felt like the developers really lost touch with something that was like mandatorily needed to be addressed, and it just feels bad in those games. Relatively shortly after, kind of lost a lot of support from their developer. So I instantly go into like crisis mode, like, oh, this is the end, which it probably isn't. They'll probably fix it, for their next balance patch. But I feel like they knew TF was a problem. They chose not to address it before Streama dropped or when Streama dropped. And it got me down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm feeling in a similar manner where I guess my points are a little more specific, where like I feel like the game is in a place where you aren't really able to play a specific list that has somewhat decent matchups into most of the current lists that are being fielded by people that are in the meta, right? So if you want to play like a slow, grindy list, you can, and you're going to beat out 50-50 probably other slower, grindier lists. But right now we have things like the Watcher combo, which just completely punishes other control decks. Like, it's absurd. We have, TFIs that can just beat anything, anytime, very, very strongly. Like, I don't understand the type of draws that need to happen for TFIs to lose. Honestly, like, I've played the deck enough and I've lost enough games with the deck where it's like, man, that sucked. Those were really, really bad draws, right? But and then you have things like Fiora Shen. So if you want to play like a hyper aggro style and try to win out, it's unlikely because you're going to lose to that and control decks. It's just the meta is so vast and so diverse with really cheap, stupid crap that it's been a real struggle for me to remain enthused about the game right now. That's my point.
I mean, me personally, like, it's been hard for me to play Runeterra. I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard because I feel like what they did like right before Shurima came out, right? I don't know how everybody else felt about Goldheart, but I feel like they took way too long to nerf that deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion. They took way too long to nerf that deck. And then I feel like they're doing the same thing with TF, which a lot of people said it honestly wasn't Goldheart, it was TF. That was the bigger problem with that deck. And I completely agreed with them, and then they nerfed Goldheart anyways. So it's like,
No, dude,
That's just how I
pack your
feel.
bags was a menace that needed to get changed as well. Like, you can't hold your opponent hostage for 1 mana. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think it was a bit of like a little bit of both, right? But I guess I kind of agree with we the peoples. TF has found a tier 1 deck for like what, the last 7 months. Like
Yeah.
he had Swain TF, Go Hard, and now TF is and TF Aphelios, right? That hasn't really gone anywhere, although it's less common. It's still really good. And they've nerfed like Riptide Rex, they've nerfed to Make It Rain, they've nerfed Pack Your Bags. Like they nerf all the supporting cards that make TF decks good when it's probably just TF that's, really good.
Yeah, he's definitely at the core of it. And so you said like developers losing touch, and I think that kind of brings up a big point as to I don't know if Riot has lost touch. I feel like they created a set, and and I'm fine with a game putting a card game, putting cards out there and letting the players figure it out, like letting the players figure out what's really, really strong. But there's got to be some Q&A happening with this stuff, because things like the Watcher combo with Fading Memories is absurd. The concurrent timelines is just WTF, right? Like, and we all said it like right when it was coming out, and nothing happened. So maybe it is losing touch, and maybe they are just trying to let the players figure it out, and then they'll go back and fix it. But I'm not happy.
Yeah, especially because like just listening to some of the things that they've said things like, oh, no one could have predicted the meta be like how it is. It's like, well, if you could count like Rummage and Blue Card and Stress Testing, it's like, oh, and pick a card. TF can level the turn after he's played, like at burst speed. Like you could predict that.
And it's literally the strongest leveled up champ. Like hands down, everybody agrees. There's no stronger champion that's leveled up than Twisted Fate. And TF Fizz was starting to see play before stress testing even hit, like before the Aphelios package came out. He was already getting play, and it's kind of weird because that was really late in that meta cycle, right? Like TF Fizz started gaining traction wicked late, like before Aphelios came out, and then it just really took off. We the people, it would talk to me about what needs to get nerfed.
Honestly, I'm not even sure at this point. Like it's starting to be like you're starting to see the snowball, right? Where it's like you starting this, like it was the same thing that we saw last meta, where it was like a triangular of decks, right? That were just really good. But then they like sometimes they just rotate out the meta sometimes, and then other times they're just really strong. Like let's not forget about Lee Sin. Lee Sin is still a good deck. It's just no one's playing it. That's the thing.
No one's playing it.
For them to nerf it.
No one's playing it because TF Fizz completely craps on Lee Sin.
True.
No one's playing it because of that. He will come back. He's going to have a huge surge if there are nerfs. First and foremost, we don't even know yet. Like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like stress testing should have never been a card. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think that should have ever been a card. I don't know why they made that card.
I think the idea of it is fine. Just right now, its little niche is just way too good. It was like you couldn't handcraft the card that fits TF is better than stress testing.
Right.
Literally.
Even like it never bricks either. Like it saves your pick a card. If you like got 3 cards that you have to keep, you're like, oh, I guess I can't level Twisted Fate up the turn I played it because I need to save these three cards because I got 3 TFs or something stupid. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people are talking about trying to make Twisted Fate 5 mana. I'm only for that change if they give him like a health buff or an attack buff. A 5 mana 2/2 is low.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I would even be fine with giving him the Heimer stats, 5 mana 1/3. Keep the quick attack. I don't know, but this
it doesn't really change much.
If you like, it's kind of weird, right? Quick attack on him because it never actually matters. Because if you don't want him to attack, you're just not going to attack.
True.
If he's threatened at all by anything, possibly, you just leave him on your back row, and he still is going to generate all the value.
Yeah. That's kind of the key word right there. Is these backline champions? A lot of them have always had a very like broken deck. Like Heimervi was incredibly broken, and it's because it revolves around a champion that never engages in combat ever. So it just takes away so many threats. So when you're building a deck and you're playing against these types of decks, you have to have interaction, right? Or you're never gonna be able to beat these decks. If they get their backline champion out, then you just kind of look at it and lose, which really stinks.
It's like Aphelios. Even though I think I'm inclined to think Aphelios is okay now.
No, you're wrong.
I'm inclined.
I'm sorry.
I'm inclined.
I think
if they nerf TF, I'm inclined to think Aphelios is okay.
Okay. All right. Listen. What champions are out there that can generate a card that does something incredibly impactful every turn, sometimes twice a turn, sometimes 3 times a turn, like if he gets his champion spell? Like, those guns gotta get changed. I'm fine with him being a 3-drop. I'm fine with him being a 3/2, but those cards need to change, like, big time.
Okay, Crescendum is way too good.
Yeah.
Ready? Here's an easy fix for Aphelios. His weapons cost 3 mana.
Facts. I said that from when he. I said that from when.
Ooh, that's gonna gut him. He's gonna be gutted.
It just makes it so they're not free if you have Veiled Temple. Like,
Literally.
you pay 1 to play it if they have Veiled Temple, and if you have the leveled up Aphelios, you get the full refund back.
Exactly.
Like
I said this.
Or maybe make him cost 3, and then if he levels up, make it cost 1. Like, reduce your cost by 2. I don't know. He's just so mana efficient, right? Stunning a card for 2 turns for 2 mana. That seems good. Right?
That seems okay.
There's no other card in the game that stuns cards for 2 turns.
The Cloven Way.
The Cloven Way, yeah.
Come on.
There's just that one.
That's a
new
5
follower.
mana.
5
Yeah.
mana card.
Yeah.
It's jokes. It's jokes.
So
Honestly.
so they're not gonna change Crescendum. Never.
Nah.
No, that card's not gonna get any kind of change. I think, and that's kind of why it's all of his weapons are gonna be 2 mana always, because of Crescendum, and it summons a 2-drop. So, like, really, they probably just need to make it so Boxtopus loses its health upon summoning. Because not
I don't
just
like that either.
played.
Because, maybe.
Like,
it's
that
probably the
card
best card.
was printed with the intention of being a 2-mana 3/1 challenger that damages itself, and
Right.
Crescendum completely takes that away. So if they do that, the card literally stays the same, except for this one really stupid interaction that makes playing mid-range miserable. So I think if they do that, Aphelios will be okay. I think they need to take Calibrum down to 2 damage, because that's fair. I think for a freely generated card to deal 2 damage for 2 mana, I think that's pretty okay. I don't think they can change Gravitum because the Cloven Way exists, and it kind of fits into that mold of the stunning for 2 turns if it's a follower kind of thing. But yeah, I think Aphelios is almost a bigger offender than Twisted Fate currently.
Really?
Almost.
Not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
It's all T.
Like-
I see Twisted Fate level up. I'm like, oh, he actually Fiora's second condition. Like, the game's actually over.
Yeah, it's done. So
done.
he's Fiora, and he got 4 kills. I quit.
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
Honestly.
There's some
The game is
people.
over.
There's some people crying for Fiora nerfs as well, which I think is just like, what? I don't think so.
I think she's fine.
I think Fiora is okay.
If she does need nerfs, I think she's like low on the priority list
Yeah.
in terms of dire needs, being probably Aphelios and TF.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that.
I could entertain a conversation, but I know in actuality, she's not going to get changed.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think she will.
But I think it's really TF, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like okay. Let's get back to reality, right? I don't think they're gonna change Aphelios at all. Like honestly, they're not gonna change him. He's a 3-2. They don't care. So they're just looking at TF and they're just staring at him and they're just like, how can we change this card so it's not trash, but people will still play it, right? I actually just don't know.
I think they should just let it be trash for a while. Like, let it be terrible. Make pick a card, play a Destiny card. Like you get to pick blue, red, or yellow. Like you get a 3-mana red card. That's kind of good. And not draw at all. Like let it be terrible. At this point, it's been a year. Like
I have not thought of that, and that sounds like a really, really good idea. Like it would give Bilgewater like a lot of flexibility.
Wait, so you're just gonna let Doughy take out his shotgun like that and just hit TF in the chest like that?
Shoot him,
please. Yeah.
He just like.
Look at the flowers, Lenny. Look at the flowers.
He just cocked it like. He just let him.
And then
but I agree though.
Probably the only other change that like I really want is I want Lissandra to have to see 2/8 mana cards be summoned instead of it just like passively doing it in the deck. Because I just hate when like, oh, they just played a leveled up Lissandra that couldn't kill because they just played it from their hand.
But it's a 3/4 tough.
Yeah. And then they just play Lissandra that's leveled. Oh, next turn it's Matron. Oh, I have no deck.
Yeah, it's super sad. Like I kind of am of the opinion that to deal with Lissandra currently, we should be looking at Fading Memories and make it so it can only copy followers of 5 cost or less or something, because that card's purpose is still going to be being served, and it would rein that deck right in.
I mean, do you think that's? I'm not on board. I'm not on board that Lissandra is on the same tier as TF.
Oh, I don't think she is.
No,
it's just kind of feels bad. Like whenever I play Trundle against Trundle Lissandra, I'm just like, I'm gonna have less fun than it would be if I was playing against like anything that's not named TF Fizz. Anything else, I would be having more fun to play against. Just because I don't like the lack of like having a deck.
Yeah, like I came here to play some cards and I don't have any.
I want to play my deck. Exactly. Don't do this to my deck, please.
Although I had the dream one time. Like, I had my deck obliterated, and then I leveled up Azir to level 3. Emperor's deck.
There was a screenshot of that actually happening. I saw it on Twitter like last week sometime. I was like, I'm never playing Mono Shurima, so I'm not even gonna dream like this.
Wow, did you clip that, dude?
I did not, no.
Oh my god.
It was the dream though.
That sounds like the dream. It's like, alright, game's over. Like, really?
My deck's gone, but then I got a new one. What happened? What's going on?
I get to play cards after all.
Yo, they should make a hidden passive for the Azir deck. It cannot be obliterated.
Kench won't be able to spit him out at 3/4 anymore. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Grandpa Roja, I'm fine with that. I believe he's referring to the changes I suggested for Boxtopus, which I believe is fine. Like, he's literally intended to be a 3/1.
See, I kind of get the idea that you don't want to nerf like other decks if you're trying to target like TFIs or TFFelios, or sorry, not TFIs, TFFelios or just Aphelios in general.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I just want to make it a 3 mana, even though it's Crescendum and they summon a 2 mana, because it's spell mana. So you're still like being efficient with your mana because you're summoning a unit with spell mana, which is always very good.
Yeah, I suppose there's some truth to that.
They need to do something though. Like
Yeah, big time.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. If I was on Riot team, I would be sitting there looking at TF like, damn, like how do we want to just nerf this card but not nerf it? I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. I've heard them maybe make instead of blue card drawing you a card, they give 2 mana or something like that. Or like instead of the mana, you just draw a card or something. or like I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of weird stuff, but I mean, we'll see on balance patch, honestly. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's no changes.
All right, I'm signing up.
Bug
to play this game
fixes.
for 24 hours on April 2nd. There should be a balance patch between now and then.
Oh.
Save me, Riot. Please
Can-
don't make me deal.
Can
with
you
this
play that
24
for
hours
24
straight.
hours?
Maybe in like protests, I will just play TFIs for 24 hours straight.
Oh, dude.
Sorry, guys.
Why would you
Maybe
do
there's
that
no
to
change.
yourself?
Like, I'm just thinking about that. Maybe there's no changes. Maybe like, all right, they're gonna hype up the balance patch. Like, yo, guys, balance patch coming out next Tuesday. We're gonna get it. We're gonna be like, all right, refreshing the page. You know how we get? We're like, refresh. We're just ready. And then we put up the freaking page. We're like, all right, let's go. Let me look at these champions.
It's like a Lulu gets nerfed, and you're like, what?
We felt like the Wiggly
they will, they will.
Burblefish
They have to.
stat line was a little
I'm pretty
weak.
sure, I'm pretty
We've
sure.
made it a 5-5.
Yeah.
But
And then some bug fixes. And the
Honestly-
Shurima Desert is vast.
I mean, to be honest, with the meta, is it just really TF is Aphelios, TF? But I feel like there's is it just me or is there a crap ton of tier 2 decks?
There's
Like,
a lot. Tier 2
I
is
feel like
huge.
The tier 2 decks is like, it's like so much.
Yeah, which is one of the strengths of like the game in general.
Yes.
And I guess like it's only been a few months of this, so maybe we're just a little entitled of like we never really had to deal with this before. Is that there's a lot of decks in Legend of Runeterra. I mean, you have Shurima Overwhelm, LeBlanc Sivir, Ash LeBlanc / Ash Noxus is coming back. Discard aggro, right? Pyro aggro, scouts. All these decks are still around. It's just the top, 2 or 3 are just so oppressive.
Yep, there's...
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy, right? Like Pirate Aggro.
It's just.
I've been playing Pirate
Yeah,
Aggro since,
Wait,
like...
Swerve, are you?
Yeah,
are you-
Swerve, I can't hear you.
What? Hang on.
Yo, Swerve, I think you're muted, bro. Okay. Yo, I wonder how long we've been muted on stream.
I know, now I feel bad.
Are we good? But I think he was talking to somebody. But I mean, honestly,
How about now?
I'm just thinking about
Buh.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just really thinking harshly about what kind of changes are coming to the next patch. Because I just hope they change a lot of the different decks that need to be addressed. A lot of different changes. I hope that they buff a good amount of cards as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that there's, like I said, there's just a lot of different decks that just, they're just in the middle.
Love Shurima. I think it's a cool region. And I love the Ascended, I love the level 3, I love the animations that play. Like, when Shurima dropped, I was like, all right, make it Masters Mono Shurima. I'm doing it. Like, it's gonna happen. I love the deck. But it's just not good. So I hope when they release more cards for Shurima, it becomes like at least tier 3. Because man, I love that deck.
You don't even think it's tier 3, really?
Mono Shurima? No.
Testing. Are we back?
You're good.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't know what's going on with my mic. It's being weird.
Oh, so it's just your mic?
Yeah.
The Steam could hear us? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'll just cut.
But,
I'll cut out the parts where you're waiting for me.
Okay. But honestly, you really think Mono Shurima is not even tier 3?
No.
Not even with that deny? That deny is.
It's not even tier 4.
Yeah, I think it's solidly like meme tier.
It's like
Dang.
But I love it. It's so much fun.
It's like mono P and Z. Like it's really bad.
Oh, you did him dirty. You did him dirty.
Like
yeah.
You did him dirty.
It is pretty bad. Like, because it's so all in on getting your level 3 champs. And turns out like a single Scorched Earth, and you can't do that. or they don't scorched earth it, and then you play Ascended's Call, and then they just like kill one of your champs. Like they just vengeance Renekton, and you're just like, "Bleh."
Yeah.
That's my shot. It's just so like counterable that right now it's just the meme. Rite of Negation is really good though. So
Yes.
like Rite of Negation, it's great. And I was like thinking about the game, and when they're teasing all the cards, I was like, "Ooh, imagine if you Rite of Negation when TF just yellow, blue, reds, like you just cancel all of them. That sounds cool."
Yeah.
But turns out he just has to play cards to get them, and that doesn't cost him anything because he's drawing a million cards per turn.
Yeah. Yeah. And hot take really quick. Ruin Runner is gonna drop to a 5/4. Just saying. That card is crazy. I think it should. I think it's busted strong. It's way too good.
Yeah, I think it's a great card in a terrible region.
It should be that good though.
Maybe when
I'm on board for it to be that good.
Maybe when they fully release the set, and Shurima is not being held up by the 3/1 if you've played a landmark, Shapestone, and Ruin Runner, like when that's not the entirety of the region, I think it's okay. Like, all right, nerf them.
Well, there's a lot of really cool cards, right? And the same thing happened with the Target release, right? Where Target was pretty underwhelming at first. Like, yeah, there was some interesting Aurelion Soul Trundle decks going around, but they weren't that good. I mean, everybody reverted back to playing like Endure and other weird stuff right when Target came out, and it just wasn't that great. TF Swain, I think that's when it was like super high tier TF Swain, which I miss. Bring back Make It Rain, please. I miss it. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, we got all of our feelings out there. Is there anything else that people want to discuss about the state of the game currently?
No, I think we pretty much talked about the meta entirely. We pretty much broke down